are live.
Okay, so I'm gonna refresh it, get the link as the word. Where is it? Wait a minute, where
Zero
is the
zero
link?
zero.
There it go. Okay, I found it now. So now, hello lads, lasses and NB badasses. I'm now going to be. I know it's not good to use like that. The wash link is where I'm going to, or the share link. Going to use just the watch link out of the browser
No,
to
from now on,
share.
it's a wash link.
Yes, it
People are going to
is.
have to just wash shit when they watch our show.
Yeah, yes, they will. But at least I got like the messages already. I'm just gonna say pretty much we're live now, or something like that. Well, I got a little blurb before, but it's kind of like a little blurb about like, well, yeah, I don't know what the fuck we're gonna be talking about, but hey, come and watch us. Come and watch us for some
We
random
are going to
stuff.
be talking about communism,
Well, we always talk about communists and anarchists and
communism
socialists
adjacent topics.
and
Um,
feminism as well.
Donald Trump got indicted, and we're happy
Now
about
that
that.
one I did prepare for at least a little bit. I was well, I prepared for it in that I watched the Legal Eagles a video
Yep,
on it,
yep,
and
yep.
when I get a chance I will post it in the live chat. But no, because yeah, Donald Trump, we kind of knew that his incompetence would come up like this, but it's just like my God, he's so incompetent that it's a good thing that Donald Trump with his ambition is not good at his what he thinks he's good at doing with this sort of
His
thing too.
lawyers keep quitting. He's such a piece of shit. He keeps losing lawyers. How the fuck do you lose lawyers? They famously just work for money
This is
and
what
have
happened.
drinking problems because of
This
it.
is what this is
I
what
don't
happened.
blame these lawyers for having drinking problems. And hello, Indigenous Heretics, and hello, Metro. How y'all doing?
Well, this is what happens when you've just been surrounded by yes men all your life. You feel
Yeah,
like you're on
yeah.
top of the.
He is. I believe the uppance is finally come.
Hmm.
No, what are you guys doing? So anyone have Father's Day
I
stuff they
have a
got?
father. Oh! Father's Day plans? No, no.
No,
Oh,
no
I'll
father's
call my
plans.
dad and
my
remind him
dad
that I love him.
my
Hmm.
dad died a couple years ago.
Oh.
Hmm. So, will you visit his grave? Do you plan on doing that today?
I don't. Well, his grave is at the Army Cemetery here in Tallahassee, but I don't have a car to get out there. So
Mm.
Yeah, that's fair. Just think of your father if you well that's the thing. If you love your father as it were, then you can think about him and think about him fondly. But if you don't love your father, say good riddance.
he
Some
was
people
kind
have
of
good dads, some people don't,
well to be
and
fair,
we have to
he was kind of
recognize that. And Isaiah,
he was kind of a dick.
your dad sounds like he was a good one. You sound like you are okay with his memory.
Actually, no, he was kind of a
No?
dick.
Okay. Never mind,
He
then I take all that back.
so when my mom died, he was kind of like verbally abusive and kind of an asshole.
Shit.
Kind of verbally abusive, physically abusive sometimes. He didn't like foster in my development as a man. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like he was
You know
there, but
what? If you can get out to the cemetery, go ahead and shit on his grave. I mean, gender neutral bathroom, every grave. Don't take bathroom advice from a podcast.
yeah, so,
But,
it's not.
I mean, you turned out okay,
Uh-huh.
even so.
Barely.
Oh well, we all well even if when we have loving parents as it were, they're not always perfect as it were. I
You
mean,
gotta, you gotta remember too, raising an autistic black person.
Hmm.
mhm.
Uh, I guess you can see where
Uh,
this is.
we turn out how we turn out, and our
Yep.
parents are there.
Yes, our parents are there. I think that's a good way to say that as well. To lose one lawyer, Mr. Trump, may be unfortunate, but to lose so many, it begins to look like careless. Apologies to Oscar Wilde.
You got that right, Bethel. It's not carelessness. It's he's just such a dick.
Hmm. He was just like at some point in the thought like, hey, oh no, I can take these. These are mine. I'm the president, as it were. You're no longer president now, and so like that. Oh, I can still have them, as it
You can
were.
grab the
Or,
law by the pussy. I mean, they let you do it when you're the president. And no, he can't get away with it anymore. It's just the chickens are coming home and they are roosting.
hmm And the thing is also like it's like just like with the indictment from like New York State, as it were, which was about like business transactions, as it were, and it was kind of
He's got like
they
37 indictments federally because of his crimes.
storing like classified documents when he's not
Stealing
the president,
classified
stealing
documents.
classified documents, and, and then storing them in like the bathroom, and or then
Just
like in
moving them all over the place in the fucking bathroom. Oh my god. And you're right, Joey. Parents are typically the first and most substantial source of trauma. You're absolutely right. I mean,
yeah.
they are such a presence in your life,
hmm
and they are there for
hmm
20, 25 years. And
Yeah, my my
if,
my family wasn't the best. My mom
yeah,
was okay. My dad was not. I haven't. Funny enough, I haven't even talked to my mom's side of the family since the funeral back in 2003.
Jesus.
Mm.
And then I haven't heard from my dad's side of the family since, so I don't. It's kind of like I've kind of gotten to the point where I'm just going to just move on and focus on getting, the stuff I need to do and
I
my
mean,
life and
I'm
everything.
sorry you haven't had that support. I mean,
hmm
the family, extended family, can often be, uh, but you have. I'm sorry, Isaiah,
Well,
that you haven't had that.
I mean, I have you guys.
hmm
You definitely
Yeah.
do.
They do our best.
Absolutely. Um,
And I
but
also just
that's not 20 years of family.
Sure.
also just focus on building shit too and
Yep.
take my that's why I'm so like I'm always like busy and productive because I just I gotta build shit. I gotta be productive. I gotta like because like a lot of men my age would just sit around and they'll be like on their video game console all the time and I'm just like I
I
can't
feel
do
called
Okay,
out.
I'm feeling attacked right now, but yeah.
oh,
Hey, at least I admit I am not being productive. I just like play Fortnite for my own fun, and then occasionally just like
And
hurt
I'm
myself
playing
because
Tears
I'm.
of the Kingdom, and I'm not ashamed of that fact.
oh like
So,
if that if it helps it helps. I'm just
yeah.
I don't know.
Mm.
No, I mean, it's just part of life.
I guess that's why I always build shit, or I like I want to do cosplay. I guess it's an escape, but when you're
Well,
poor, it's
And
so.
it's you have a creative side, and I
mhm.
love that so much. You
It's just
you
you're
build
poor,
shit, you dress up shit, you love shit so hard, and I love that.
right? Yeah, I mean, like it's being, watching movies. Like it's kind of a reason why like people say, can you like sell your art? And I'm like, yeah, I could, but it's like when I like build a starship or I build like an ocean liner, it's like I can like imagine myself being on like the Lusitania. Although
Mhm.
as a black guy, I mean, obviously there
Mhm.
it's like
That would have been awkward back then, yeah.
Mhm.
uh,
But
uh,
Is
yeah, I mean, you're
no.
making these ships. You are. It's like I think you buy kits, but you also make extra shit to make them better, right?
yeah, yeah, I do. So yeah, and even if I wanted to start a business doing it, it would only just be me making them. Like I can't see myself hiring someone and being a boss over them because it's like you have to like have an eye for the detail, and most people don't unless
Hmm.
unless you go to like James Cameron and ask who are the people who helped you. Like, no, no, No.
Well, that's the idea society I want to like have, where it's just like you don't have to like worry about like paying for rent or like you have to like worry about like working a job you're gonna hate just for like the basic needs and so on. That no, you can just like do the things that you want to do. Maybe every so often maybe there'll be a need to like build your shit is a kind of phrase that needs context. So, hello, David. Um, but no,
Well, I
it's just
mean,
like.
frankly, say I don't think you should sell your ships or. I mean, you could do Etsy stuff, but
Mm,
I'm thinking about
I
doing
think you should find a job where your love and care for detail and passion is part of it.
there are two places in Florida that I could do that. Um, there's a place in Pensacola called the Naval Air Museum. There's that, and
Mm.
then there's the Kennedy Space Center, obviously. But the rent in both Pensacola and Titusville is pretty bad, and I have
Hmm.
mm.
poor as fuck. So, then,
I kind of love the idea of you working at a museum, just being an attentive nerd all day, every day.
yes. I mean, yeah, but. Mm. And that's
Maybe
another
there's
thing
a
about
museum there in Tampa where you could
I live in Tallahassee.
Tallahassee. Sorry.
There isn't one. I if there
No.
was, I mean, there's a history museum, but I think you gotta have museum experience. I don't have that. You know,
Maybe you can't be a docent, not right away, but maybe
Boop
you
the city
could
up.
like
work your way up.
be a receptionist or something. I don't know.
It is. Well, that's honestly that's the thing.
Yeah, do something.
Something my friend Comrade Dizia did mention in my like live chat last yesterday is that like even for like almost every job, even for like jobs at like McDonald's and stuff like that, they want you to have like 3 years experience or something like that prior to like
McDonald's needs you
working.
to have a fucking master's degree. God,
I well,
I
funny
have strong
enough,
opinions about education.
okay. Well, since I work at McDonald's, which I never expected I would do ever in my life. I can't let me okay, so I they said they needed people, and so I got the job based on that.
Oh yeah, that's
And
what
you
they.
are typical of a McDonald's employee. You are not a teenager. You are a grown man who needs a fucking job. That's just who works at McDonald's.
This. Well, it's like for some reason, Comrade, my friend Comrade Dizia has just not been getting any luck of like beginning a job, despite like
Mhm.
sending out like 30 applications as it were too. And they say that they're
It's like
hiring.
they need a reserve army of unemployed people so that people
Hmm.
will be afraid to stand up and fight for themselves. It's almost
Hmm.
like Karl Marx was right about fucking everything.
Hmm.
Like the best
Yeah.
way to spare people from capitalism is not have kids.
Mm.
Do not have a future generation to deal with this.
So
Uh, we're not antinatalist necessarily. We respect
yeah.
that position.
I'm
If you
not
have
saying that
kids, I'm not saying you're a bad person if you have kids. Isaiah is. Isaiah hates you.
Well, also,
hold on. I'll say like I'm not like opposed to having children. Like maybe one day I want to have kids, but I'm just like if
it's expensive to have kids, though.
they're gonna go through
It's a
this,
thing. It's a big choice.
if it's
Also, Isaiah, your mic is kind of in and out. You might want to.
I'm not actually. Can you hear me better?
Yeah, I mean,
Thinking I can.
sometimes we can hear you. Sometimes you cut out a little bit. I'm
I don't.
thinking maybe one of the wires is loose.
Um.
I could hear Isaiah fine.
Yeah,
Honestly, on my end.
It,
If he's cutting it out, it's because like
it
the
might
phone's
be my
talking over
headphones.
him.
Maybe I'm just a
well,
piece
because
of
my,
shit.
my 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 cord, the cord is fine, and I'm hooked up, and I'm really close to the mic, so it must be something on your end.
Okay, all right.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, maybe if I'm cutting in and out, then your
I have
headphones
not heard
jump.
you cutting in and out. No.
That's interesting. Yeah, but like, oh, the comment from earlier, Mithril said, "Did anyone see Kando Cruz claim that
Cancun
Biden's
Cruise.
it's a sacrificing children while listening to Pat Benatar, well known for campaigning for like tough child protection laws, real laws, not turf laws, as were." No, I did not see that.
Did Ted Cruz actually join the QAnon conspiracy? Seriously?
I think it's more of like against like Condo Cruz wants like tough like laws against for protecting children with anti-trans laws and that sort of thing too. You
Ted
know
Cruz
the
casts Pat Benatar's music as the embodiment of demonic evil. World is puzzled.
I mean Heartbreaker.
uh,
I like Shadows of the Night, honestly.
Pat Benatar is fucking amazing girl power out the ass.
Hey Phoenix.
Wait, I so my favorite '80s girl band is the Bangles.
Oh, that one I don't know about.
You thought it was the Go-Go's, wasn't it?
That would
Oh,
have been my guess actually. Yeah.
well, speaking of the Go-Go's, was in Star Trek: The Voyage Home. Does anyone know that?
It would surprise me that they were in Star Trek: The Voyage Home.
One of the singers was part of that.
Not surprised. But hello studio, hello Phoenix, hello Joey, hello Mithra, hello David. How is everyone doing?
Phoenix!
Relatively speaking,
Hey.
how is like John Bruckman and Isaiah doing? Relatively speaking,
I'm
I'm doing
good.
okay.
As John one time said, it's like I'm surviving capitalism.
is as my
you-
friend.
When you said that, by the way, John, it sounded like a Dateline news story.
Nah.
We stalled.
It's too everyday to be a news story.
Yeah,
Uh,
I also think being on the spectrum too, it's like the things you're interested in are not what everyone else is interested in, and so you're not going to make a
yeah.
lot.
And to what degree as well? This is something that like I think in like the viewers of like C Chives has knows this, and C Chives again like say, yeah, you're probably onto something about that. As more or less like neurodivergent people are more interested in like canon and that sort of thing too, or just
Mhm.
like the ancillary things. As I mean, for better or worse, this is like why the Star Wars universe is so expansive as it were, because we need a fucking origin story for like why that blaster was there in that scene at this one time when it's just a prop to me, honestly.
Part of me like
Uh,
I don't care about. I mean, I don't get why like all these like people say, well, it wasn't like this in the other one. It's like, well, if you don't like it, just watch the original shit. Why do you got to make fun of? I mean, like I like Strange New Worlds. It's the only Star Trek show I've gotten into out of all the new ones that just came out because it's a very basic premise, which I like. And I have a huge crush on Sing.
mm,
Mhm.
I
She's
again, I need to like watch all the new Trek stuff. I still don't have like a Paramount Plus as well, but I know like people that can let me borrow their accounts if I could. Oh wait, should not say that on like YouTube as it were. No uncoded messages over like no uncoded messages
Something
over
something
open channels.
landlord. Something banned on Twitter.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I did do that. Yeah. No. I just like okay, fine. I will delete the tweet from 4 fucking years ago, and then just like so I didn't have like my Twitter account blocked. Again, my okay, yeah. Hopefully that can work out like Metro. Honestly, Metro, if you have ways to like get money to me, I can give money to Phoenix as well directly too. It sounds like Disney fans who cry about the villains in newer movies or like they're it's just like no. Hey, see, that's the thing too. Movies don't often need is C3PO no Star Trek? Shut up, David. It's not that like it's not that like movies need villains as a word. They just need like conflict and that sort of thing too. And that conflict does not have to be from like a particular person as it were. Which is why like a lot of the recent Disney movies, like they don't have like an interesting villain, or if they do have a villain at all, it's like shows up in like until like the last act of the movie, something like that, and they're not often that like memorable. Zootopia did had a villain as it were, but it was
Was
mostly
Zootopia Disney? I thought that was
I
DreamWorks.
think that
Pixar.
I think that Zootopia is Disney. It's Disney Animation, which is
Mm.
maybe it was like a Pixar or Pixar Studios as were, but like yeah, it was Walt Disney Animation Studios, Walt Disney Pictures in from 2016. Um, now the villain in Zootopia was like great too because it's also like that villain wanted kind of like a sense of order. Of course, a cop that wants a sense of order and maintain order too. So like there you go. And it was like all
The good
based
guy's a
on
cop and the bad guy's a cop. It's cop versus cop. What about good apples? Okay, I see it.
Is it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, assistant mayor too. Yeah, yeah. She did want it like, but like she didn't like show up that like. Well, I guess she showed it in the movie, but like she didn't reveal herself to be the villain until like much later. But like. The thing about like Zootopia was like the main conflict was like Explorer versus Squares like pants. I still have not seen SpongeBob SquarePants. I still have not seen it. I know it's referenced a lot and it's like memed a lot as well, but I still have not seen it. I'm sure I'll love it once I finally start watching it too, because like if it's been like so prevalent and like have like it's been referenced so much and like having so many memes about it, it must have some like sustaining power to or quality to it to have the sustaining power that it does.
Can I ask you a
Um,
question?
sure, go ahead.
We're like all neurodiverse. Are we
Yes.
Yep,
autistic?
pretty
Okay.
much.
So
I'm not sure if I am on the spectrum as well. But like so many people, like even Mehmet on the show has said, like I must be some kind of ADHD of some kind, and so like and ADHD is very close to like autism, or at least they share a lot. I am neurodivergent for sure since I'm dyslexic, and
Mhm.
like having a learning disability like that does make you be neurodivergent. But go ahead, Isaiah.
I was gonna ask, so what country outside of the US does your like neurodivergence, I guess, equate to? Because I think for me it's Canada, but what's yours, y'all's?
I
Y'all's.
don't get what you mean by that question.
I
That's
don't
an
know.
interesting
It's
question.
it's kind of like I don't feel American being who I
Hmm.
am, but I feel like I would be more Canadian. I just don't jive with America that much.
Honestly, Canadian are just like basically like American light. They just pride themselves in not being American, but yet they're very similar, honestly.
Oh yeah, Canada is so America. I mean, they have all the same mass murder and genocide of Native people.
Oh yeah. There's that history too. Autistic Pride Day context wrench. Let's see. Autistic Pride Day 2023. Date, history, significance of themes, and other important day. It's a special awareness that aims to spread awareness about autism and educate people about its causes, symptoms, and prevention and treatment. Scroll down to know more.
I'm
Would you
sure
like to know
Autism
more?
Speaks is all over that, and they are doing
Autism speech
good
is
work.
terrible.
Yeah,
Autism
I
Yes.
was being sarcastic.
So yes, June 18th is Autistic Pride Day.
Oh,
Um,
also
it-
Juneteenth
Juneteenth
tomorrow.
coming up.
that's right. Juneteenth is coming up. I gotta prepare for that too.
I guess you guys can see this. Can you? You
You,
can only see half of it. Okay.
no,
I
you
guess
look excited and happy, and I'm loving it.
I think you were doing like the fist up thing as well too, but the fist was just
The
like
Black Power Fest.
yeah.
it's the 1968 Mexico Olympics salute.
So no, yeah. So that's important to know. June 18th, which is also my mom's birthday. I have to remember to like message her because I forgot to call her on Mother's Day. It was also yes, it's also Father's Day, and I'll just say like Happy Father's Day to my dad, and that's it. Um,
Father's Day to all the starch. Funny enough, I've always loved Ben Cisco. He was kind of like him and
Ben
Picard.
Cisco is everyone's dad. He's just
Yeah,
yes.
it's just that's just how it works. He's your dad now.
yeah.
It's and in the Deep Space Nine documentary, the actor played Jake
Sure.
Sisko, Captain Logan is like he said that Avery Brooks did treat him like his son, as it were. He would like take him out to like ball games and to like Laker games and that sort of thing too, with Avery Brooks' actual son. And one time, he met someone at the Lakers game that knew him, and he introduced like both Abrams' own son and Kenton Lofton as were as these are my sons as were. So like that's how like that kind of like
You have to have
on screen.
Father's Day in the summer, David, because that way he can grill.
To be
Yeah, that's kind of the reason, honestly.
to be
That's the
fair,
only time a man is allowed to cook is by making meat on fire. So
Mhm.
it has to be in the summer, obviously.
to be to be fair though, me and my dad did go fishing before he died.
Mm.
We did.
Mm.
Mhm. Yeah, honestly, that's something to, like nice to do. I've actually had never been fishing, only once in real life, and didn't catch anything. But that would be that's something that I would love to do. But of course, I don't have the equipment to do so as well.
Oh, we bond through our maleness.
We bond in silence. That's what fishing is. Sitting in a boat in
Yeah.
silence. And
Uh,
that's kind of a thing that.
and hey, Von Rack.
Hey, Von Rick. But that is a way for men to be close to people is to just be next to them and enjoy spending time with them,
Yeah.
even if they're
So
not
take
really
that
allowed to say it.
and that's another
Yeah.
thing about it. Like Andrew Tate likes to talk about men are in problems, but he never he always gives these really shitty stereotypical oh, go get a six pack, go get a Maserati. It's like that's not gonna help anyone. They're
I,
Yeah, you're right, Von Rick. The object of fishing is not to catch fish; it's to spend time with someone you love. Really,
yeah.
yeah, exactly.
unless
And yeah,
you're spending that time alone, in which case it's a way to be alone and have time for yourself.
yeah. I tried to bond with my dad through our maleness, but he won't just accept that mine exists. Yeah, yeah, it's. I go fishing and rarely catch anything. It's honestly,
I mean, that's
fortunately
because you're British. Let's be honest.
or it's because there's a lot of missing fish out at the sea, as it were, or or because of the UK deciding to leave the EU, they have been like struggling to get fishing rights back as well too, and just it's but like no, I don't know if I would actually I'd probably like catch and release or something like that, then catch and throw back because I'm mildly allergic to salmon, tuna, and cod. So like I imagine I'm mildly allergic to like other fish too. Plus, I would know how to prepare it too. Um,
I just want to fish and make some French fries and just call it a night. That's what I do.
Fish and chips.
Yeah, well that's kind of like my dish for me, fish and chips.
And for some reason, they wrap that shit in newspaper, which just seems unsanitary.
yeah, I don't know. I'm sure there's a reason for it. But the kind of like bonding the times I would do with my dad was like going golfing. But like I sold my golf clubs when we moved because
So
yeah,
white.
very bushy. Yes, and so white too as well. Yes.
No, actually, croqueting is very white. No, curling. What is that?
Curl. Oh,
What's
so
the
you're
whitest
Canadian.
sport? Let's
So you are Canadian, Isaiah, because he mentioned curling.
Curling. We gotta. So when they're
no,
like,
pretty sure shuffleboard.
Beer
Let's do a what's the thing?
beer
You
pong
have,
is the whitest.
No, beer pong the frat boy is.
It's still white.
The
Oh,
frat
yeah,
boy's
yeah.
pretty white.
Frat boy's white. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, that's true, accurate. Honestly, that's why all the frat boy houses are like Greek or have Greek names in them as well.
Mhm.
The only Greek names I know.
November is a pretty good month to grill. Do you grill in Sweden? Is that a thing? Like going outside and
They do fish in
charring
Sweden for
meat
sure.
over a flame? Grilling has to be like a universal. I mean, I'm assuming that grilling meat
Is it
over a
pronounced-
flame.
Is it Sweden or
like a universal.
Which one?
What?
No,
What
it's
was the
like,
question?
is it pronounced Sweden or Sweden? Which one? Because I've heard it's.
Oh, I don't know. That's a good question. I don't actually speak Swedish, so I'm just doing a stereotypical accent here.
No, but I
From
do love apples.
Minnesota because they're from the upper Midwest. They're from up north. That's what they do. They're
You know
very
when
white.
I first heard the term ABBA, like the name of the band, I thought it was pronounced.
And I just noticed, Geek, that you are wearing a Trans Pride sweatshirt.
I am, yes. It's dirty as hell for some reason.
Oh
and
Jesus!
I-
Fuck! It is dirty. Oh my God! Go, take that
Oh,
off
no.
and wash it. What the fuck is wrong with you?
I have watched it. No, I have watched it. It just doesn't come out. I just don't know what it is. I'm just a dirty, filthy trans.
Now, Why do people
In
hate trans?
Swedish, the name is Sverige.
Oh, that's interesting. I still think it's like odd that I consider myself male, but I have no idea what that means. It means whatever you want it to mean, too. If you are comfortable, it's just like I am a
Mhm.
man, as it were, and you be whatever kind of man you want to be, as it were. You define what is maleness and what
Being
is
a
manliness.
man means you like dogs.
Now, the question, during trans, on we're gonna get banned. Yeah.
No, no, no. This is YouTube. We're not going to get banned for insulting trans people. If I said something like "white people should all die," then we would get banned from YouTube. Not trans people.
I did have a conversation about like. Oh yes, of course you are Canadian. Yes, you bring up
I
Alpha Bean
disagree with
too.
that strongly.
I'm glad to know I pronounced it pretty well. Sverige.
Yes,
You got to roll
but,
the R's because everywhere outside of America they hate R's.
I like dogs. Okay, it's settled. There you go, Von Rack. You can
You're a
use that
dude,
as well.
you like dogs. Liking dogs is just masculine energy. That's how it works. Liking cats means you're kind of a woman.
You're a feminist, at least.
I have
Because,
a dog,
like-
I have a cat. I'm bi gender. I guess that's just how it works.
Your cat dog, like the TV show.
Cat dog.
How did that
but like,
cat dog poop? Two mouths, no buttholes. What the fuck is going on there? That is fucked up biology.
I
do
don't
not
wanna
watch
know.
that show
I don't know
because
either.
no buttholes.
Again, as like John Oliver has mentioned about like how important it is to have the IRS, and then we hate the IRS. It's just like having an anus. It's actually important to have an anus, as it were, because like you need the food waste to come out somehow. So we need like the IRS, the current society, for
Every
taxes.
multicellular creature out there has a butthole.
Yes,
The two
We
divisions
start-
in the kingdoms are between things that start butthole first and things that start mouth first. We start
yes,
butthole
and-
first. There was a time when
Exactly.
you were nothing but a butthole.
Yes, and some people never grew out that face and just need nothing but an asshole.
And you're absolutely right, context. All good people appreciate doggos. Everyone
Yes.
has some masculine energy.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Everyone has
That-
some feminine energy. You secretly want a cat. There are a lot of people out there who think they want a dog, who's like a cat, but really they want a cat.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that was actually kind of recommended to me do like a cat because like yesterday I was like mentioning and like yeah I kind of like injured myself here slightly. I don't know how, but I think it's when I was banging my knees or my thighs for like not doing well in Fortnite's war, and I hit the desk as well accidentally. This is from biting myself.
That is
I
a
get
bruise.
is oh this one is more for the bruise, but that's where I like bite it well and like having the sleeve over. But like I don't know, I get so much
That
anger
is
and
such STEM energy. Are you sure you're not autistic?
yes. No, I'm not sure. It's very possible I have like have some sense of autism.
Sometimes
Sorry.
jokingly call Joe Biden, Joe Bite me for some reason.
Yep, mouth and butthole are one continuous track. We are technically donuts. There's a hole going all the way through us. We are meat donuts.
But no, as I say, you did ask the question of like why do like people like hate trans people as well?
I'm curious because I don't get the hate.
It's okay to
There
don't
are
get
some
the
people
hate.
out there who love being definite. They want black and white. They want absolute clarity, I think. And
Yes.
Yeah,
I kind of think that those people just hate trans people because they blur the lines. And
Yeah.
I'm not certain about this. I'm just proposing.
well, I know
something.
when I was like hate watching a Michael Pence town hall, it was kind of like he was kind of like, you don't know what you want to be. Maybe you should think about it more. And in my mind, I'm just like, okay, so let's say I'm like questioning my gender, but it's like either I be a man or a woman, and I'm like, it's terrible on both ends. If I choose to be a man, I'm more likely to get shot, more likely to die, more likely to be killed by other men. heterosexual men are more likely to be drafted into wars, are more likely to
Mhm.
be without a job, more like okay, so there's that being a man. If you're a woman, you're more likely to be sexually assaulted,
Yes.
stalked, raped,
Mhm. Mhm.
molested.
Okay, let's
Some
not focus on the negatives of the two genders. There are positives about both.
Mhm.
It's like that masculine energy. Like I'm just thinking Pedro Pascal and his strong dad energy.
and like at the end of the day, too, it's like we still got to
Or
work and
Benjamin Sisko.
Yeah.
we still got to work and pay bills. So what's the difference anyway? We got to work, pay bills, and die. So if
It's really not. It's really not much difference. It's where just like for like just like for the army, is where many generals just like I don't care if they're straight as long as they can shoot straight. Is where which is why like and many did not care about the like the don't ask don't
And
tell
there
and
was a
would
lot of
rather
sweet Polly Oliver. They didn't care if they were men either. Not really.
yes yes
course, of
and
course, of course, war is the gayest sport ever because it's other men.
Bunch of dudes fucking each other. Yeah.
it's the Greek soldiers were pretty much naked, honestly. And have you seen some of those marble statues of those Greek soldiers? My
Yes,
God, that man cannot be sneaking around with those cheeks clapping as loud as they could.
that fucking dick, that dick waving around like a fucking pendulum.
Why do they care? But then again, there's also like some wrestlers that would like usually just like drop trout and like with helicopter, and I'm just like, why? Okay, you probably took it too far when you heard that like if you got it, flaunt it. But please, damn, just like there's a time and a place for it, and like just like a random hotel is not the time and place for it. It's
What the fuck
and
stories
it's
are you reading?
I don't know. Ignorance is blissful for like the ignorant. The rest of us, it is pain. As well. Most likely to kill another person as a male too. Yeah, exactly. My pants doesn't know what he wants to
Oh yeah.
be, a traitor or
That
a
is
waste
a
of oxygen.
negative. That is a bit of toxic masculinity that we need to get rid of.
Yes. Oh,
Men
absolutely.
don't need to be violent. It's
Nope.
Yes. And as I
and
said
we should
before, and also,
recognize that women can be violent too. That
oh yes, because like it's even though it's like it's very true that like predominance of like domestic violence does happen in like a man against a woman too. It can happen to a man and to another man in like gay men relationships. It can happen.
Abigail Thorne.
This it can happen to like a women and a women in like a lesbian relationships too.
Mm-hmm.
It can happen for of a woman to a man like Liza Minnelli to like her husband,
Mm-hmm.
reportedly.
Yeah.
So it's like we should take seriously of like so like not saying that the like men's right activists have like a point there about like women on and men like domestic violence as it
Mm-hmm.
were or the men being victims of domestic violence, but
They
that
want to focus
is
on that exclusively because they're
true.
misogynistic assholes. But I mean,
Yes.
they're right. It does happen. Like I said,
Mhm.
Abigail Thornton, philosophy
Well,
tube.
it's kind of like there's a lot of problems that affect men, but it's so many of the assholes like Andrew Tate take up the conversation. You can never
Mm.
like
They suck
Mhm.
up all the air.
so
Again, it's like a toxic masculinity. And again, as I always said before, remember, when we're talking about toxic masculinity, we're not talking saying that all masculinity is toxic. We're just
Just
saying that
like
some
not every
many
cheeseburger, not every burger has cheese on it.
is
Not every
there are some
masculinity is toxic.
yeah, there are some aspects of masculinity that is like perpetuated by our society, our patriarchal society, that is like toxic and harmful for the mental and physical health of like men around. Can we please remember how adjectives work?
I do
What's his
sometimes
name? Liam Neeson. Taken hit that series.
Yes.
That is toxic masculinity.
Yes.
what about Fast and
Pedro.
Furious?
That is pretty fucking
That's
toxic.
more
too.
machismo.
Yeah.
That's been toxic masculinity in the form of machismo, yes.
What about Arnold Schwarzenegger and his movies?
80s, so toxic.
Gotcha.
But you know
Uh,
what's not toxic masculinity? What is good, healthy masculinity? Paddington Bear.
oh yes. I still need to see those movies. I heard nothing
You
but good things
absolutely
about them.
should.
What movies are there?
But don't watch
Paddington Bear.
those like
Okay.
back to back unless you have like a box of tissues.
Oh, okay.
Because
doing,
they are
back-
heartwarming and they will jerk some tears out of you.
I do want to make a movie now that I'm actually a movie creator, quote unquote. I do want to make a movie about it's called Roland and Me. This is after I make my my monster movie, which I've actually changed the name to Moths. I want to actually make a movie that the title is now called Moths as opposed to Centipedes because I want to make a movie about killer centipede. I mean killer moths.
The Killing Mars would actually be quite interesting. Quite
That is an interesting concept.
because like honestly, that
I
would
mean,
be
like,
like
are they
kind of
big
fun.
moths or are they just like poisonous?
They're about
Or
okay, so it still keeps the same premise as the centipedes eat the toxic waste from a train derailment,
Mhm.
but we're just switching out the centipedes and like putting in moths.
Mhm.
So do they like bite people and chew their faces
Yeah.
off, or?
Yes, basically. Okay, so the moths are they're hypersensitive to sound and movement,
Mhm.
and they're about as big as my hand. They're not huge, so it's not like the movie Mosquito where the mosquitoes were like as big as people. I don't know if you guys ever saw
Or
that.
them.
You know,
I
I'm
don't.
kind
I
of
never.
I've never seen that movie, but I'm kind of digging this concept because like moths, it's like you go out at night, there's moths, and
Mhm.
they're
Right.
kind of creepy. They're bugs, but they're not really harmful. But suddenly they become harmful. I'm loving this.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's gonna be based off of so like I'm actually taking like notes from several movies. I'm also
Will the
gonna watch.
heroes kill them with a giant bug zapper?
No, well, okay,
Flamethrowers.
well let me give you guys the pitch, right? I don't know if I did the pitch. So the pitch
You've already sold me. Stop selling.
let me highlight the pitch. So the setting is actually in 1993. It's after the end of the Cold
Of
War.
course, it's the '90s, and let me guess, there's a blonde white girl in the middle of the movie.
Not really. No.
She's a brunette instead.
Let me finish.
It's Avril Lavigne or it's Alanis Morissette. Which one?
It's neither, actually. Let me finish. So there's this train derailment with carrying these chemical weapons that derails, and the
In
moths are
Palestine,
trapped.
Ohio.
No, it's actually in Florida. Actually in North Florida. Funny enough. I'm just
Oh, right,
waiting.
what you know, right, what you know. I get it.
I'm just waiting till DeSantis leaves so I can actually make it because I don't want to give money to this state at the moment.
Oh, the train derails. It's the middle of the Florida jungle. It's late night. There's these giant elephant ear plants. Oh, it's
Yeah, so it's
atmosphere.
kind of like that, and the moths like the liquid like the chemicals glow kind of, and the moths are attracted to it, and like they become carnivorous and they
Okay,
start
nice.
attacking people. That's basically what it
And
is.
I got to point out, Von Reck, bug zapper with flamethrowers. Good Father's Day gift.
Yes. And Cheeseburger will fix everything in a great context, Rich. Like
Mhm.
Vic, through the previous conversation, abuse isn't about power or control, not gender. Exactly.
That is a yep, 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 yep.
But the movie Roland and Me is about it's actually about it's actually kind of like centered kind of like on me where it's like my character grows up
David.
my character grows up in like the night like in Los Angeles. He's like autistic in Los Angeles,
Mhm.
and he gets a chance to work with Roland Emmerich on his Independence Day movie, making miniatures. That's basically what it is. I don't know.
That'd be interesting character
That is
story.
such a weird niche idea. I love it so hard.
Yeah.
Yes. I can see that as an independent film though as well. You pay you like
Mhm.
characters and that sort of thing too, especially since like you won't like need much. You probably don't won't
That
need a
that sounds
Roland
like one of
Emmerich
those
too.
mumblecore movies from like 15 years ago.
Mhm.
What's a mumblecore movie? What's that?
Um, it was a style of indie film
Right.
where that everyone would talk kind of quiet because that was just the style of the thing.
Well, I mean, I've also like tinkered with writing movie like styles of movies like from that era, like back like you remember when like during like when Lifetime, you know, the Lifetime movies that came out in the 90s that were like my daughter's being stalked by this by the mailman or some shit. It's kind of like in that vein. I've always liked movies like that because they're kind of just like so bad. I don't know. Like
Mhm.
like like I have all kinds of movie ideas in my head. I thought about making like a movie like a comedy movie about
You
when
have a
like
YouTube channel. You have cameras. You could.
and you have action, lights, camera, action. Light right here. So
Wikipedia has a good definition of this. Mumblecore is a subgenre of independent film characterized by naturalistic acting and dialogue, sometimes improvised, low budget film production, an emphasis on dialogue over plot, and a the movie where they're all white tracksuits, Royal Tenenbaums.
Right.
That was, I mean, that was big budget, but that was pretty fucking mumblecore.
Yeah, I mean, I have an idea for like a movie about Dallas getting destroyed by like a F6 tornado, like 370 miles. It's like 3 hours long, and it's
It's
based on like
2012, but just Dallas. I love it.
yeah, it's gonna be called the Great Dallas Texas Tornado Disaster. That's the title. So I don't know.
It's Twister, but deadly.
It's already got about like a 3 movies ideas. But you also just need.
You're just spitting ideas. I'm loving it. And
Yeah.
you're doing this while also like using an X-Acto knife to carve something. I think.
Yeah, I'm chipping out windows for my ship.
Oh shit, that's right. You're
So I'm
making the
multitasking.
windows so they can light up for the Cappadocia.
Yeah, so I'm talking to you guys, and I'm also doing this with a knife, and I'm talking about movie ideas.
Multitasking.
I'm just creative as fuck. I don't know. I got the Kubrick in me, I guess.
No. Kimberg
No.
is pretentious as hell.
Yeah,
Although
Kubrick rolled up his own ass and stayed there for his entire life. Don't
Although
be like Kubrick. Kubrick was a dick.
Although to be fair, I think my favorite director is probably James Cameron. I love that man.
Well, at least, like,
you're just saying
James
that
Cameron-
because he directed the Titanic. I mean,
No, not necessarily. He's amazing.
he gave us
I don't-
Kate Winslet's amazing tits.
when she was 20 too.
So yeah, he's amazing. I love him.
Yeah, he's a good director, and I've not heard any nasty, shitty stories like with Kubrick, who was a piece of shit.
Between him and like Wolfgang Peterson, they're like my favorite.
Wolfgang
Fuck is
Peterson. That's
Wolfgang Peterson.
He's a director. He's a German made The Perfect Storm, Air Force One, Poseidon, the remake.
okay.
Das Boot,
I did.
Troy, The Perfect Storm. Okay, I've actually never-ending story. Holy shit!
I still need to watch Neverending Story. I
You
know
haven't
about
seen
what
Never-ending story.
I've seen.
You
No,
will
I've
cry.
seen bit.
You
I know. I know.
will
I
cry.
cried. Basically, I don't. Basically, my family would be watching Neverending Story every once in a while, but I never watched it sat through all the way through. But I know of like all the beats. And
It
stuff like that. I
is
know what happens to
such
horse.
an iconic '80s movie.
I also
Yes.
I also like the guy who made his name is Jan de Blanc, right? He made Twister, Speed.
Mhm.
So Nicholas Meyer is obviously up there. I mean, you can't hate on Star Trek: The Wrath of Khan, The Day After.
Fuck off, David. No, I'm gonna have to put you in a time. Can I put you in a timeout?
Tommy Wiseau is interesting.
And there we go.
Wolfgang
Time out.
Peterson made the best
off,
like a
David.
submarine movie ever. Okay. Tommy Wiseau is just a terrible person.
Bad David. Naughty.
It's one of the few times where you can accidentally create arts.
I like Roland Emmerich a lot, although I like
He
Roland
does
He's
Emmerich.
one
really
note,
good
though.
disaster movies.
Yeah.
Yes, that's his like the one note
He's
really
a very
is good at.
visual kind of storyteller. The
That's why I
stories
like-
are stupid and shit, but the visuals are amazing.
It's kind of funny because I love Roland Emmerich, but I don't like Michael Bay all that much.
Michael Bay is a piece of shit.
So-
Yeah.
And I'm a very visual person. I love visuals to hell, but Michael
No, I
Bay.
mean, like, Michael Bay is he's not even cheeseburger. He's like cold French fries.
I did like The Island though, but it's just because I happen to like one movie by Michael Bay doesn't mean that
It's like,
all the other movies he makes.
The Rock, the opening of The Rock, the antagonist, the bad guy. Michael Bay's idea of making this guy sympathetic is having him kneel at his wife's grave, and the tombstone just reads, "His wife."
I
Like,
mean,
what the fuck? Who the fuck would just put his wife on a tombstone. That is not a way to honor someone. No, even the most Pat Robertson would not have put that on his wife's tombstone.
What are you guys opinion on Armageddon?
It's
Oh,
cheesy. It's a
I'm
piece
trying
of
to
movie,
remember
honestly.
which shitty movie that is. That the one where a giant rock is coming from outer space?
That's where like their solution to like destroying the meteor is like sending
They send
oil
miners.
drillers. They send miners up to the meteor to
I mean,
drill
it
a hole
had
into
what's his name, Michael Clark Duncan,
The big,
beautiful
biggest-
big black man dancing in leopard
Yes,
print underwear.
yes.
So it's hard not to love that movie.
There's that scene, sir. But yeah, Bruce Willis, Ben
That's
Affleck,
not my kink, by the way.
Liv Tyler.
And you know what? Not
Owen
gay, not
Wilson.
bi, but Michael Clark Duncan dancing in leopard print underwear is
something.
kind of
Yes,
making.
definitely. It is a visual experience as well.
Every white girl in the theater had kind of a fantasy about that.
But yeah, that was a movie that like thought of like it's easier to like train
Bruce Willis
miners
and
and oil drillers. Ben
what's his
Affleck.
name? Ben Affleck.
Uh,
Yes.
Billy Bob
It
Thornton
was
is
so
in it.
cheesy and so stupid, but it worked.
Yeah.
But like to talk to any scientist about even in the beginning, where they said like the meteorite landed and destroyed all the dinosaurs with like the 38,000
Nicholas
tons.
Rogue. What
Actually,
did
it was
Nicholas Rogue, the man who fell to Earth?
He said like
about?
1,000 nukes.
No, they underemphasized the strength of meteorite that hit the planet 65 million years ago. Yet overemphasized everything else. The one thing you could actually overemphasize the destructive power of a meteorite
It's a
hitting the
fucking
Earth.
mountain falling from space. It will ruin everything.
As a space nerd, so I heard that the Chicxulub impact was, I want to say, 700 times more powerful than the Tsar Bomba, which is the largest nuke ever. So-
It's a fucking mountain that fell from space,
No,
Yeah,
that,
and it landed on fucking limestone, meaning it showered the entire planet with sulfuric acid.
the thing about that is, like, that thing hit with such force that everything in like a 2,000-mile radius was incinerated like that. That, like,
Oh, the
you,
day after tomorrow was so.
Again, the final climactic ending scene of the day after tomorrow was our heroes outrunning super cold.
I went to see. Was it day? No, it's 2012. I saw that on date, and I predicted. It's like, oh, that's the Vatican. It's going to. There's going to be a crack running down the middle of the painting, splitting man in God's fingers. You're like,
Yeah.
have you seen this before? I was like, no, he's just that fucking predictable. Roland Emmerich
that's actually
is
another
not
movie.
a great man.
He's a very one-note director. He's competent enough at that one note he does of disaster movies, but it's just like Stargate. I still like that was
Day
like
After Tomorrow. Was that? Did that have?
Dennis
Action
Quaid.
Dad?
Dennis
Yes.
Quaid,
Cheesy
Jack-
action dad, Dennis Quaid.
is it Jake Gyllenhaal? Yeah, it had him.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, you're right, David Scott. It's like apocalypse is the end of the world. Armageddon is the war against the good, the heaven and earth, and heaven and hell.
You guys-
Armageddon is not the end of the world. It's just a war on Mount Megiddo.
Yeah.
Armageddon.
Or, yeah. Were you guys ever fans of the War of the Worlds? The
Which one?
The Tom Cruise ones. As we're
Oh
talking
no,
about.
that
Oh,
one. That was
never seen
kind of
it.
shit. I mean, look, Tom Cruise can run. He pumps his arms. He moves his legs. He can run like nobody's business. But he's not a dad. That movie
Nah.
tried to make Tom Cruise a dad, and Tom Cruise is not good at being a dad. He is not Pedro Pascal. He does not have dad energy.
I will say it did, and this is like, this is kind of, and like I'm saying this like seeing this actress later in her life, not when she was in that movie, but that movie,
Fanning?
yeah, that Dakota.
Dakota Fanning, yeah.
Yeah, Elle is her sister, so that kind of did get me like interested into her. And I'm saying this like as like
Was
an
it
older.
Dakota or Elle who did the movie where she wanted to write for Star Trek.
It was no, that's Dakota. I actually have
Dakota.
that.
Yeah, and she's autistic in that movie, and she sells it so hard,
Yeah,
and it's
I
fucking beautiful. Just
I'm
her
like,
passion and her devotion, and I
and to
mean,
be
I don't know if Dakota Fanning is actually a fan of Star Trek, but she sells the love.
I will say that probably would have been a girlfriend if me if that in some
Oh,
universe if
you'd
that
be willing to date Dakota Fanning?
the character, not the actress. That was just that.
Isaiah is about to upset me. Why, Mithril? I mean, he's. Is it
Just
in a
skip that
good
book
way?
then. I will say this about like War of the Worlds and stuff like that. Never read the original book. But like did see the
It actually
1950s
started
movie.
as a radio play.
Oh yeah, the Orson Welles radio play.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And
But no,
people in New Jersey freaked the fuck out because they thought it was real.
yep, they did. Orson Welles can really sell that.
Yeah.
He does have that voice, and he later in life he also just tried to like sell. Was like tasked to like sell some like farming commercials or anything like that. And to which it's like, this is a load of shit.
Wasn't he also like the narrator for a show called The Man Who Saw Tomorrow, which talked about Nostradamus?
Wouldn't
Yeah,
surprise me. He had a
yeah,
voice for narration.
yeah.
I I
Uh,
love I love Orson Welles. His voice is like I always want to
His
like
best role, Unicron, Transformers movie.
yep. Is and
Unicron was
apparently
a terrifying villain.
yes, he was. He would just like eat everything as where just like Galactus as well.
Devourer of worlds, and you can believe it.
I've always said if you can get Orson Welles and James Earl Jones to narrate, I will be a Christian in a heartbeat.
I mean, James Earl Jones is getting up there, and his voice is getting weaker. So
Yeah. Well,
I mean, time comes for us all, you know.
yeah.
Oh,
But James Earl Jones did have the voice for
Mhm.
so long. And here's the thing. He actually has a terrible stutter.
Mm.
And
I can believe that,
the
actually.
reason he's able to act is because reading off a script is different from just talking.
Yes, definitely.
So I mean, it's like it's interesting to me, just
Mm-hmm.
the contrast.
Raise you, Richard Burton. Who's Richard Burton?
Burton. Gonna have to
Gonna have to
Google
look this up.
Oh, that is a beautiful man. But let's see, do I know Cleopatra, Where Eagles Dare? This is a guy from the 60s, The Road, Taming of the Shrew.
I think I did see Taming of the Shrew actually. I still have my problems with that movie or that play. Honestly, original play. Hey, my drum teacher was going to like do that as like one of her plays, but then she kind of like reflected on it and be like, "I hate this play." That's true. Just suddenly, just for a
Taming of
man.
the Shrew? Fucking misogynistic as hell.
Yes, exactly.
10 Things I Hate About You.
I
Misogynistic as hell, but
What about
it
13
gave
going
us
on
the
30?
Joker and he's a beautiful young man.
This yes, Heath Ledger. That was actually filmed
Yes.
in a high school in like Tacoma, actually, Tacoma, Washington too. Richard Burton, West Welsh. Oh, okay.
Well, you
Yeah.
guys know fans of the
Richard
movie-
Burton, Spy Who Came from the Cold, Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, Taming the Shrew, and 1,000 Days. I've actually seen that one. 1984. That is just talking about what he won. I mean, obviously I've seen him here and there, even though I don't recognize him. But he
Yeah.
has that gorgeous, gorgeous gold curls.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What are you saying, Isaiah?
I don't remember.
We're just bouncing all over the place.
What's
Orson
everyone-
Welles, something, James Earl Jones.
Yeah, well, that was like a million years ago. No, I asked, what about have you guys ever seen Mean Girls? That's why
I still
Yeah,
haven't. I still
uh,
have not seen Mean
I've
Girls.
heard of it. I'm familiar with They're oeuvre.
I had the biggest crush on Lindsay Lohan in that movie back in the day.
Everyone did. She was she and Britney Spears were the Disney girls.
I
Yes.
They
never
had
really
beautiful
liked Britney
tits.
Spears.
Mm-hmm.
Never got into Britney Spears.
I mean, it's like, for me, it's just
Britney
because,
Spears,
like,
wait, hold on a second. Britney Spears was the '90s blonde girl sex
I
icon.
didn't. I,
yes, she was.
I didn't. I don't know, man. I didn't. I didn't go for it. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
What about
s-
Christina Aguilera?
Nah.
Oh, okay. So
You
so
are
blonde
an
with-
enigma. You
I-
are a
yeah.
surprising man, is he?
I mean, I've heard their music, obviously, and I think they're good artists, obviously, but it's just like I never. Yeah,
This is one black guy
What
that's
about
not
Marilyn
like
Manson?
saying, "Hey, where's the white people at?"
Marilyn Manson. Yeah,
Another
see,
'90s
He was just a
icon.
person.
hold on, about Marilyn Manson. See, I'm gonna be honest. When I saw American History X, that movie about the neo Nazis, and I saw that one of the people in there was like a punk Nazi goth person, I thought all the goth kids were
Fairuza
Nazis.
Balk or
Basically, like the Edward
Fairuza
Norton's
Balk
girlfriend,
was
basically.
the girlfriend of.
Well, the Fairuza Balk, which is funny because she's actually Romy, right? Yeah, so
I
it's
think
like
so.
which the
Is she
Nazis.
Roma? That's pretty awesome.
I think she is, which is kind of hilarious because the Nazis hated Roma people too. So
Oh yeah, they would.
The Nazis hate fucking everyone. I mean,
They do. Yeah.
and she was like this like neo. I thought I was kind of like, so all goth kids are Nazis. Okay, I know when to stay
wow,
away.
she is the Joker now.
Oh yeah, she would be a good Joker too. Yeah.
I mean, she has a surprisingly wide smile,
Although I do have a crush on
and
her.
she's very pale. That's weird.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was trying to look up whether or not she was Roma, but I got distracted by. She has bangs. That's weird.
I love Björk. Björk, yeah, that's how you say
Björk.
it.
York.
That's about it. Other than that, I'm niche, very niche, very niche.
Mhm.
I'm like in my own category, like maybe a few. I don't know. It's
You
like
got
it's
distracted by Fairuza Balk when talking about Marilyn Manson. For some reason.
It's yeah, all these tangents were going on. It's
she was
like
great in the craft. You're right, Meth.
yeah, well yeah, I love that movie a lot. It's like if like Black America was like a whole galaxy, I'm like that small dwarf galaxy way the hell over here.
I love that analogy.
That
if Black
I
America
also-
was a galaxy, you're the Magellanic Cloud. I love it.
Right. I'm not even a Magellanic Cloud. I'm like the dwarf galaxy way over here with all the old stars about to die and
I also
I-
love the idea of Black America as a galaxy. It's just it's a big swirly thing. It's confusing and
center of it's Atlanta because that's where all the black people are.
oh
Well,
my
Atlanta
god!
would be one of those places,
Atlanta
yes.
is the giant black hole in the middle of Black America.
Right. Depending on how you say that.
Not the butthole, the black hole.
To be honest.
That reminds me. I don't remember if we just because they're talking about black holes and atmosphere, like
We
events
didn't
this
do the
were.
patron thank you.
Oh yes.
Stat Lewis, Geek,
no.
Aaron, Flora, Joey, Martin. No, not Joey. Joe, Marty,
Yeah,
Tim, and Von Reck.
Or you could say if Black America was the
and Ely.
And Ely,
Yeah.
yes. The butthole of our podcast is Ely. Because they're necessary and everyone loves how much they hate it.
Are we calling our like patrons the buttholes of the show?
Most of them are the black holes. Ely is the butthole. I hope you're okay with that, Ely.
It's
kind of
kinda
with me
like-
calling you the butthole.
it's kind of like
People are fingering the butthole.
I'm just very unique for people. That's why I don't have a lot of friends in life. Like I always look at myself as like I'm like Neptune. I'm like this planet on like the periphery of space. Just
No,
like
you're a muscular dude who lives under the ocean and has 7 daughters. That's how you're Neptune.
an Aquaman now.
Hey, well, Neptune's a Roman and god of like the sea.
And he has
Because,
7 daughters because 7 seas.
Oh, I see. Yeah, and Neptune is just like Poseidon renamed as well, just like most of the Roman gods.
Neptune,
But
Triton, just a fish dude
yeah,
with a giant dick. You know he fucks.
yes,
Well, it's funny 'cause I actually like the ocean. Well, that makes sense. Look at this shit. So.
yes, and you like
Yeah,
building
no, I know
ships.
you love the ocean. Titanic, Cappadocia.
Oh,
You want to be a
You're
giant
the one
fucking
that's
boat.
always
You
bringing up
want
the
to be a
Vulcan
boatman.
Islands.
James Cameron actually is a huge ocean nerd, so maybe
I
I
can
am
believe
not
it.
surprised.
maybe it runs. Maybe
There's
it,
but for fortune.
yeah. It's kind of like It's funny because like, I used to be into the oceans, then it became airplanes and the air and space, and it still is air and space, but now it's the ocean. I like again. I'm just a weird person
You're autistic. That's
with
just
no.
what you do.
Yeah, I
You
don't
get
know.
way into shit and you love it so hard.
Yeah, I always I'm just like I said, like I'm like the oddity with a lot of people, and I think that's why it's difficult for me to understand others and know.
Titanic
So
is the
I,
ocean. Titanic
I
is the ocean and it's Kate Winslet's tits.
it's part of the ocean now.
who were actually drawn by James Cameron. James Cameron actually drew that. I don't know if anyone knows that.
I did know that James Cameron drew that as well because I
He's
think
the
Kate
one who
Winslet
did the
mentioned.
drawing of Kate Winslet's tits as a French girl.
Per
Yes. Yes, and like because like Kate Winslet did said like poops on set, it was actually was James Cameron drawing it, not like Leonardo DiCaprio. Oh, was Leonardo DiCaprio on set? Oh no, Leonardo DiCaprio was on set.
were you guys a
How
fan?
old was Kate Winslet at the time? She might have been
20.
24. Oh, she
Uh,
was about the right age for him. Yeah.
I want to say 20, at least her, or
Yeah.
maybe teens. I would imagine.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure like the Kate Winslet is 20 because I remember in like a fragrance commercial where Kate Winslet talked about her whole life. She said that she nearly drowned at 20, referring to like Titanic. So that's how I remember that.
I will say the movie is made like because like romantic movies made by men oftentimes are pretty shitty to the most part, but he was able to actually like accomplish that without it being a romp.
It was an epic,
Yes.
that movie.
Well, it was a perfect date movie because it was like the romance movie of like with like Kate and Jack and something like that, and also like a disaster movie too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Again, like that
he was
guy.
He was Roland Emmerich and somebody who directed Hugh Jackman films.
I'm gonna be honest.
Or Sleepless in Seattle.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
I need to see that movie. I want to see Sleepless in Seattle and My Cousin Vimy. There's a two movies I
My
gotta see.
Cousin Vinny is such a good. It got an award from the American Bar Association for being like the most accurate law movie.
Yeah,
I mean, it still fucks up later on, but it is very good about the law.
Yeah, so like I mean, Andrew Torrance is a
that's
terrible
half
person.
That's half the
But
jokes.
yeah. No, Andrew Torrance is a terrible person, but like he said, like the reason why they never did that, him and Thomas never did like the My Cousin Vinny for law awful movies because like no, they're actually accurate to the law. There's
They
several other
actually
movies
did
that are-
do My Cousin Vinny, but they did it in a loving way rather
What
than
movie?
a roasting way.
You
I
know,
see.
I'm sorry for interrupting.
No,
No,
good,
no,
no,
go ahead.
go ahead.
Running my fucking mouth doing this. Like I'm usually not really as talkative as like in other podcasts, like in other episodes, but I'm just like fucking yapping. Holy
No,
shit.
you're going off. I'm loving it.
I'm not even high. What the hell?
Being high is overrated, if you ask me. But like, no, The Abyss is actually far more interesting. I did like that movie a lot.
Yeah, I
honestly.
mean that's a weird fucking movie, and
I-
it has interesting themes,
I
and
would-
I love the way weird blonde guy gets his wife to wake up after being in the ocean by slapping her. He slaps her.
everyone, Ed Harris. Ed Harris.
Ed Harris.
Yes. Is this the Abyss?
Yep.
Yeah, The Abyss.
He
Okay.
rips her
1993.
shirt open and shows her tits, and then he
Another
slaps
James
her back
Cameron
alive.
movie.
Well, yes, we were talking about Titanic, and Mitchell says that The Abyss is much more interesting, and I agree. And it takes place in the ocean too, because like,
and there's an
it-
alien, and a
No,
guy
no,
cuts his arm because he goes weird because deep.
he
under
has
the
the
ocean.
bends or something like that,
Yeah.
it's like pressure, sickness.
Yeah,
Or...
the bends happens when you get back to the surface. I think it was nitrogen, not hallucination. I'm thinking getting high. It was nitrogen high.
Where there's like
Um,
bubble in your blood. So
Yeah, no, that's the bends. That happens when you come back to the surface too quickly.
Yeah,
But when
decompressing
you
too
go
fast.
way too deep, nitrogen can make you stoned. I think that's what was going on with the bad guy.
Yeah, that's what they were using for like coffee's like turn in that way. They do create conflict for the movie, as it were.
I want to see the movie Pretty Woman eventually. I know.
Yes.
Steve
Yeah,
Shaw.
that is that's a whole thing, and it's weird and not great.
Steve Shives and Jason Harden reviewed it for their show, and they shit on it just relentlessly. It was the funniest thing ever.
I mean,
I don't doubt
they were accurate on with that movie. That movie was just like celebrating richness, as it were.
Yeah,
Because
it's like here's a rich guy, here's a whore, and
yes,
it's,
I just love-
it's not great.
Like,
Julia
those two-
Roberts is amazing. Richard Gere is there.
Richard Gere is there. Yes, exactly. That's actually true for Richard Gere a lot. Honestly, he's there as far.
I mean,
like
he
him in
does
Chicago.
a good job. He shows up. He does the job. It's he just never got anything good.
What did you see Chicago?
It's
Chicago
LA.
was good. You're right. You're
Oh.
absolutely right about that.
It's
Ocean's 11.
Captain St. Jones. I haven't seen Ocean's 11. Actually,
You
I've
haven't
seen.
seen Ocean's 11.
Oh no,
That
wait!
is
I did.
the
I, no,
heist
no.
movie.
I did see the classic Ocean's 11 with the Rat Pack.
Okay, but yeah, okay. I mean, with the modern one, it's really good.
I mean, it has like 4 sequels. Honestly, I did see Ocean's 8.
The
actually,
sequels,
which is the
fuck 'em, they suck.
spinoff.
But
Okay.
the Ocean's 11, Brad Pitt, and
George Clooney.
George Clooney.
And
They
Matt
fucking
Damon.
rock it. And I mean, again, Julia Roberts.
Yeah.
She's not given a lot to do. She's the woman. She's the prize.
It's like a big cast too, a big cast of
It is,
celebrities too.
It
But
is
like,
such a fucking ensemble film.
Are any of you guys fans of Brooke Shields by any chance?
I think I like Brooke Shields.
I don't really know any of her work.
I think she was in the Abyss. Honestly, I could be like wrong about that.
No, that's not her. That's her. That's the girl from Alien. I don't remember her. I don't. It's something.
Sigourney Weaver?
Sigourney Weaver was the woman from Aliens, but I don't think that was Sigourney
okay.
Weaver in Abyss.
Can you guys look it up? Oh, too.
I'm
okay.
googling it right now. Mary
I have
Elizabeth
seen-
Mastrantonio. That's. I mean, that is the woman from Abyss, but that I. Oh no, Robin Hood. She was made Mary in the shitty Robin Hood movie with
Prince of
guy-
Thieves, Kevin Costner.
Yes. She was in
Oh,
man,
Scarface.
I'm sorry.
Shit.
She dated Prince Andrews. Okay. There you go. Oh, wait a minute. Mary
I mean,
Elizabeth,
she's a
come on.
familiar figure, but
Any fans of Carrie Elways here?
Carrie
Carrie
Elwes is a great actor, a great
oh
British actor.
yes, I love him. I mean,
Princess Bride. He was in
Princess
Twister, too.
Bride and Liar
Yes,
Liar.
yes.
How can you
and
not
the-
love him? Psych.
and
he played
the
the
Crush.
amazing fucking thief in Psych. He was.
Oh, I haven't seen that one yet. I haven't seen that
also-
episode.
You have to
And
watch
also-
Psych. Psych is such
and
a
al-
great show.
And also The Crush. Don't forget, because that's the movie with my.
Oh, Sharon Stone. No, the Shiva Alicia Stone.
There is. Or is this? Wait,
Sylvia Alicia Stone, I think. From Clueless, right?
yes.
Sharon Stone, Sharon Lisa Stone. We're going all over the place too. And I do know who Brooke Shields is. I've seen her before, but I don't know if I've seen her in any of the movies or anything
Have
like
I
that.
ever?
She's a beautiful
The
woman.
only thing I think I've seen Brooke Shields in is the episode of Friend where she's a
Yes.
fucking psycho.
Yes,
Yeah.
I've seen that episode of Friends too.
She
Uh,
was in Blue Lagoon, and she also
think so,
she
yes.
was also pedophile bait in a movie.
Yes, I believe so. Yeah.
Some director got her naked at like the age of 9.
Oh,
It
wonderful.
was weird and gross and bad. It
Mm.
was Lolita. It was I think.
Oh, Lolita, yeah.
It
Alan
was-
Rickman and Princess Thief is enough to enjoy the piece of shit movie. Princess Thief is so bad
Alan
is good.
Rickman is so fucking. He chews the scenery. He's fucking all over it. He is a giant piece of goddamn ham, and it's wonderful. And what's his name is there?
Watch
The
movie
blonde
10
guy.
and you've seen all of Brooke Shields. And yes, first of all, I'm sorry we brought up Prince of Thieves again because, yeah, to you, the geography of Prince of Thieves is hilarious.
They sailed
Anyone-
from the Holy Land back to England.
Anyone
And
fans of Braveheart?
No, I haven't seen Braveheart, honestly.
yeah.
I've seen Mel Gibson's other movie of Jesus Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
That was a movie.
Look, it's Mel Gibson masturbating about being Scottish. It's
Yes. Yes, the leader was Brooke Shields. Yeah, that's fortunate for Brooke Shields because, no, she's a beautiful woman, but we don't need to see her naked when she's 10.
yeah.
We don't need to see anyone naked when they're 10, unless you're their parents or their doctors or anything like that.
Yep.
Under appropriate
Fucking
circumstances.
every Lolita movie is such a goddamn problem because they don't punish fucking what's his name, the Humphreys or whatever. They celebrate the fucking naked child.
Let me ask this question. There was a movie where Reese Witherspoon was young, like Man in the Moon, right?
Maybe. I don't remember seeing that movie. That was the man of the moon. Was that the?
You might be
Jim
thinking
Carrey?
about the Dangerous Liaisons movie.
No, I'm not.
I've never seen Man in the Moon, so I don't know. There was Ryan Phillippe and Reese Witherspoon and Sarah Michelle Gellar.
I still have a huge man crush on Ryan Phillippe. That guy is.
He was
Him and
beautiful. He had such big, beautiful lips.
Oh my
that
god,
curly hair.
Him and Keanu Reeves. I'm
That is
Right.
a fucking leap, and
I'm straight, but good god, those two men are
I
handsome.
mean, you're absolutely right. Where was Ryan Phillippe at? What has Ryan Phillippe done anything in the last 20 fucking years?
I have
mean,
so
Keanu
many tabs open
Reeves
now because of
is-
this conversation.
Phillippe is
Oh, wait,
still
so-
beautiful.
He's so beautiful as a word. I don't know. Some people are just if they don't act.
He is still working. He's making movies. I've not seen or heard of any of them. He was
Man,
in
that's a-
Gosford Park. Gosford
Oh,
Park
okay.
is such a good movie.
Again, another movie I have not seen.
Cruel Intentions is the name of the movie I was thinking with.
Oh, okay,
Reese
with the
Witherspoon.
I don't
and
know.
Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Sarah Michelle Gellar still looks amazing. Reese Witherspoon
Mhm.
still looks like no one's ever aged in that movie.
When
yeah,
you got
they
Hollywood
haven't.
money, if you're making those the big bucks, you
Either you can
you
afford
can afford a
you
good
can-
tailor is what it really
Yeah,
comes
you
down
can afford to get hair. You can afford handlers that can give you the a makeup regimen to keep you young, or a dietary regimen to keep you looking young.
to.
As well.
Makeup and tailor will do everything.
I'm disagree. I'm poor as fuck. I only have 45
You're
cents.
black.
Well,
You
look,
black don't crack. You're gonna be gorgeous for the next 20 fucking years. Shut up.
Look at me. What the hell? I'm poor as shit. Look at me.
We're talking about white girls.
Bush, I call bullshit on that.
I'm sorry, Isaiah Taylor. Some of the white girls that you
Oh, is that your yearbook?
I still look the same. This goes back since 1997 to 2005. I still
It doesn't matter that you got a receding hairline. You are going to be beautiful forever. Me, they can see my baggy fucking eyes, okay? And Ryan would be still working. I'm digging
Hold
that.
on. Gates McFadden still looks amazing, and she's like 70.
What's her name? Criminal woman, white.
Oh, Angela Lansbury.
No, Angela. She's dead. I'm talking about the still living 80-year-old woman.
Barbara Eden.
Nope, nope, nope. Her name starts with an M.
This show is all over the place, but I love it.
Prison actress. Let's see what happens.
Prisoner actress. Oh, wow. Okay. This was like
Martha Stewart. There we go. On the cover of fucking Sports Illustrated, despite the fact that she's 80 goddamn years old.
Wow, she's that old?
I don't know how old she actually is, but I mean,
but she made fun of people who work from home. Like, okay, shut up.
Yeah, there's definitely problems with like
Martha Stewart is 81 years old. She was just on the cover of Sports Illustrated at 81 fucking years old. That is what money will get for you. Like, holy shit. And her hair hasn't gone gray. I don't know. Good for her. She's fucking rocking it, but it's money that does that for her, not,
what is the
being
cold
a good
undead
person.
and not still living as it were? I don't know, David. No, I'm sure this is set up for a joke, and you go ahead and like tell the pun is what. No, Meryl Streep is like better. I agree. Meryl Streep is like she can act. She will always get like Oscar nomination even if she didn't act much in that movie.
Well, as you said,
and the Divine Miss M. Yes, absolutely.
Oh yeah, Divine Miss Anne. Damn it. Bette Midler.
Yes, and that movie with Goldie Hawn and
she's British, by the way. It sounds like a British name. Bette Midler.
Hocus Pocus.
Yes. No, not Hocus Pocus. No. The movie where they can't die.
Stepford Wives.
No. Wow. No. Absolutely not. Bette Midler, Bruce Willis.
Is
Goldie
was it Bruce Willis in that
Hawn.
one?
Death
What they can't die. That's okay. I was about to say. Oh, John.
That is such a beautiful dark comedy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just these two women who they're best frenemies. They love each other. They hate each other, and now they're stuck in eternity.
And dying bodies too, or decomposing bodies because
their
like,
bodies
they're
are basically turned into mannequins, and it's the most beautiful thing. I love that movie so hard.
yeah. Well, I don't know if we even like mentioned this, but like I want to mention it's totally off topic and veering away from like movie talk, which I don't mind.
Robert Zemeckis. Oh my god. Sorry, Robert Zemeckis directed Death Becomes Her.
Who also directed? Did he direct like Forrest Gump?
The speeding car movie. Back to the Future.
Oh yes, he did direct that. Back to the Future.
Oh my god, he was such a huge part of my childhood. I had no fucking idea.
It kind of shows you.
He also did the First Wives Club. Oh my god.
That's interesting. Never
First
seen that
Wives
movie,
Club
though.
is they're a bunch of angry, bitter women who have been divorced and are struggling with being middle-aged. And oh my god, this is amazing. I am loving this.
You just realized the name of the director that like directed a lot of your favorite movies, and you just never realized that until now.
I mean, I knew Robert Zemeckis was the Back to the Future guy, but Death
He also
Becomes Her
directed
is
Beowulf.
such a different kind of movie.
Yeah, it is. Honestly, yeah.
And
It's
First
dark
Vibe
comedy
Clubs
again.
is totally off the fucking wall for that. He's
Mm-hmm.
got fucking range.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So anyway,
Jane Fonda,
so
85. Damn.
So, some of the latest in like science news. I don't know if we mentioned this on like on a previous show, but the red giant Betelgeuse, which can like we have observed shrink and like and expand to as big as that's like 900 times the size of our sun, and shrink to like its smallest, which is about 500 times the size of our sun. But like Betelgeuse, or which is sometimes called the Beetlejuice, because like it's red, and you like when you squish on like a beetle, the juice it is like red. So
Not
that's
gonna
why
be racist, Joey. We're not going there.
Actually, the term Beetlejuice, if I'm not mistaken, is Arabic for armpit of the mighty one.
Armpit.
Maybe because like Betelgeuse is part of the constellation Orion, and maybe that's where it's like a place that says it's Orion's armpit in the constellation, as it were. Or, but I think it's a central stuff. No, yeah, it probably is an armpit, honestly. But like,
Time Beetlejuice.
who cares about that? Yes, Michael Keaton will show up, and that's fine. Still a good movie though. But like the star Betelgeuse is probably going to go supernova. We kind of like know that like it's already gone supernova in the past. We're just like waiting for the light of that supernova to happen to catch up to us as well. Because remember, as we all know about light speed travel, is where if a light year is like the distance that light can travel space in within a year, is like that. So
Holy
something's like
shit.
100 light years away, and
I
like
gotta interrupt.
Sure.
As he was right. The bit might mean armpit. And Al Jauza or Al Jauza, the central one or the giant. So it's the middle of the armpit or the giant armpit. Holy shit!
Remember, John, I used to work at a planetarium, so I used to.
I mean, you're a giant fucking nerd. I should just accept when you talk about stars and shit. Jesus Christ, this is fucking wild.
a lot of the names of our stars come from Arabic stuff.
I mean,
like,
that I know. I just didn't know that they looked at a beautiful star and said it's a fucking armpit. I'm sorry, Geek. I interrupted you. Or
it's okay. It's okay. But no, that was just like the latest news. So like we kind of know now that like for sure that like Betelgeuse has like gone supernova sometime in the past. As it were, we just don't know when like the light of that supernova is going to hit us, and we'll be able to see it in the sky too. But like it'll be exciting to like actually see that, because like it's not that often we actually see the death of the star. I think there's like only
I
one other
love that
time.
they're able to predict the death of the star, and we'll be able to see it. And I fucking love science, you know.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
and there's a star. So at the opposite of that, there's a star called Rigel,
Mhm.
and that I'm trying to figure out what that means.
I'm thinking it means something like king. Sounds like a king name.
I think so too. Oh, that'll be my guess as well. And there was also like Vega and Centauri.
It comes
Hey.
from Arabic and means the left leg of the giant, referring to the figure of Orion.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
I didn't.
How the fuck does the word Rigel mean the left leg of the giant?
Because it's Arabic. I don't
Fucking
know. It's a
Arabic.
different language.
It's a dense goddamn language. That is wild.
Also, these people
A corruption of Arabic, foot, leg. Okay, so it doesn't. It's not necessarily a direct translation.
Again, it's all about come down to the context and like localization, as it were too.
It means foot or leg, and the fact that it's in the left leg of Orion is.
or it's also, or it's also called Beta Orinids. I think that's its beta.
Oh, totally fucking beta. Okay, yeah.
Beta.
They're such a beta.
Total-
Yes.
Yeah, Rigel is a cuck star. What can I say?
Cuckstar. What a way to end the show. As we are...
David knew that Rigel was part of the Orion formation. Good for you, David.
Apparently, if Beetlejuice goes supernova, we would see it because it's close by and it's good and it's that bright. And by close by, it's like 400 light years away.
Yeah, exactly. Again, and it's big. It's a big star. Again, it's like even at the smallest, it's like 500 times the size of our sun is worth too.
Mhm.
That's
Our
what you get
sun
with the
is
red
a
giant.
small star. It's
Yeah,
a
this is just a yellow sun, a yellow star.
It's a main sequence G type stuff. Okay, I'll shut
Mhm.
up. Nerd.
No,
We
we're
are
well.
specks of dust on the surface
Mhm,
of a speck of dust that orbits a speck
mhm.
of dust in the middle of a mediocre galaxy.
Mhm. Yeah.
But yeah. And the nearest, and unless we get the Traveler from TNG, he can take us all the way to.
All right, geek.
Yes, so
Take us out.
Isaiah Taylor has like his two YouTube channels of the Sinister Intelligence and the Autistic Modeling Society, as it were, and Isaiah Taylor has his own Instagram as well. Check him out on like those links as well. CharityLinks.page. Remember to check out CharityLinks.page if you have any extra spare cash, and if you're able to give because of like bureaucracy bullshit or something, and like cross channels and different countries and blah
Capitalism
blah blah.
sucks.
Yeah,
Do what you
capitalism
can.
sucks. Consider giving money to like Phoenix and Joanna or those
Hmm.
who in like charity links dot page.
Yep.
I'm Summer Geek on Tumblr, co-host, Twitter, YouTube,
Twitch.
and Twitch. I'm going to be
He plays
streaming later.
Fortnite. Not well.
Now, I do play Fortnite, but I don't stream Fortnite as well. I technically could, but I don't like how the game runs when I'm playing Fortnite on like stream as well. So I don't. So I play Fortnite off stream, and I hate myself for like dying in like the game that I slapped the side of my head. So I like punch my thighs or like slam my fist against my thighs as it were. I want to like exert my anger some way or something like that. Like either like push it down on the desk in this hand, but then lift it up on the desk on the other hand, so that like tire myself out and that sort of thing too.
And you're wearing an
Um,
absolutely filthy sweatshirt.
non-binary.
I mean, did you rub yourself on a gas station
Here's the
pump?
non-binary one too, and it's like filthy as well. I don't know where my genderqueer one is, but that one's filthy as well. I swear I watched these, but they just like the filth and the dirt just doesn't come out. I
You
just
like
don't know
doing the
how.
worm in a Walmart parking lot. We get it.
I'll be streaming later today on like Twitch. I don't know what I'm gonna be playing. Might be playing Stardew Valley because like it's in a rotation. Who knows? It tends to feel like it. And John Brockman, you're part of another podcast, aren't you?
Abso-fucking-lutely. Dungeons and Debacles. And I'm stepping in to help with the editing, and so is Henna. And so we might actually start publishing episodes again.
Mhm.
Totally different from this. Hell of a lot of fun. I'm British.
You can
I'm
pretend to be
and
British.
the Dragonborn. I'm Albert Bundy.
All right. Yes. Good night. Like I meant to. Oh yes, and the Fluid Voice is back tonight with the
Fluid
Indigenous
Voice,
Heretic
yes.
again. That's awesome. I should check that out when I get a chance. So Fluid Voice tonight at 8 p.m., 5 p.m., 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Check that out with Awesome of the Dark, Christy and Prefects, and with I guess the Indigenous Heretic, our good friend Joey.
And I
Uh,
will chat on that, so that's cool.
yep.
Mhm.
All that's to be said is like, stay awesome, my friends. Take care. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Be gay.
Brutish.
Do crime.
Shut up, David.